Do you feel the pain? Silver and gold get smashed, crashed today. Silver down $1 per ounce. Gold down $30 per ounce. So maybe you're asking yourself, why? Why is this happening again? It's like the old Charlie Brown cartoon when he runs to kick the football and Lucy pulls it out of the way at the last second. Have we been through this before? Let's talk about why it happened and what the prospects look like for the silver price and the gold price as we head into the end of the year. So first, yesterday, we had the big Fed announcement. That was supposed to be the market-moving news for the silver price and the gold price. But was it? Really, no. It was a big nothing burger. We've talked about this many times. The Fed delivered exactly what the market expected. Exactly what the market expected. They raised rates by 0.25 percentage point, and they basically said, we're going to have to wait and see what happens. No big surprise. The price of silver and gold actually were doing really well. The big key about what the Fed said was that we have to wait and see how the lag effects from the previous 11 interest rate hikes over the last 18 months, how they affect the economy going forward. And we won't go down that path, but we can say this, correct? We know that the economy is heading into some rough waters. Just listen to what JP Morgan says. Just listen to what Jeffrey Gundlach's Double Line Capital says. Double Line Capital is calling for a full 1% rate cut next year. We know that would be rocket fuel for the price of gold and silver, but we're talking about today where we have gold down by $30 and silver down by a full $1 at some point. What happened? This morning we woke up, we had higher silver prices, higher gold prices. Everything looked great, and then boom, they pulled the rug out from under you. They released the GDP numbers. Nobody was really talking about this. It was not a big news item, but Joe Biden and his economic team, they are just working miracles, almost too good to be true, right? And they did it again. They blew away GDP growth estimates. It was 2.4, 2.6%, which really, is that all that great anyway? I think China's growing at 3 times the rate of the United States, but that's a subject for a different video. When these great GDP numbers came out, that gave people fear that the Fed, that the Fed's interest rate hikes aren't slowing the economy enough because they're fighting inflation. But are they really wanting to fight inflation? Can they really even mathematically think about the United States system the way it is surviving without high inflation? Again, that's another subject for another video. Nonetheless, the market reacted the way the market reacted. Most of these participants aren't as smart as you and me, okay? They see that and they think, oh no, the Fed is going to have to be more hawkish going forward. They got to slow the economy down. They don't consider the fact that those 11 interest rate hikes, 12 interest rate hikes, it takes 6 to 9 to 12 months for that to bleed through, the effects of that to bleed through into the economy. And we are heading into the heart of that storm right now, right? Maybe we're like in the eye of the hurricane. We know all the problems with the banks. We know all the problems in the world geopolitically. Maybe we're in the eye of the storm right now. And you know what? CoinShop Chris pointed this out to me not too long ago. The second half of a hurricane is always much more powerful. The end of the year is going to be very interesting from a U.S. economic perspective and for silver and gold investors. The way I look at it right now is we're kind of like we're on the Titanic, the U.S. economy, right? The iceberg has been struck. Maybe that was the great financial crisis. Maybe it was the little health crisis that we had back in March of 2020. The ship is starting to sink. Maybe it's only 20 or 30% down at this point. And on the top decks, right, the wealthy, the people at the top are still partying away. Everything's okay. Nothing to worry about. Give me another drink. And isn't that what's going on right now here in the U.S.? Have you looked at wealth distribution numbers? It is appalling. Middle class, lower class people in the United States are losing all their wealth, while the top 1%, the top 2% are growing and growing. So they're still partying, right? They're on the top deck of the Titanic, not realizing that the whole ship could be sinking, right? We don't know. I could be wrong, just my opinion, but it sure feels like we're heading into some very, very troubled times. So while today's smash 'em, crash 'em in the silver price and gold price are painful, we need to realize this was based upon supposed strong economic news, strong GDP numbers. Don't forget what Double Line Capital said. They said there are alarms ringing everywhere regarding the health of the United States economy. J.P. Morgan themselves came out with a report on gold. They're calling for record gold prices next year. That means much higher silver prices as well, and they're saying the same thing. They're expecting recession next year. So when you have J.P. Morgan, Double Line Capital, and a host of other top economic advisors, top financial companies saying that we're heading into a recession, don't you think maybe we need to look at the big picture? Look, I know today's a painful day, right? It is for me, it is for you. I own a lot of precious metal mining stocks as well. You think the price of the metals is down, you should look at the mining stocks. But we've been through this before. We know why we hold precious metals. We know why we hold precious metal mining stocks, right? To protect ourselves. We know the long-term thesis. This monetary mirage that's been played by the Federal Reserve since it was created, but in particular, since 1971 when President Nixon temporarily took us off the gold standard. Look, guys, it can only go on for so much longer. I know one thing for sure. We'll make it through these choppy waters. We've been through days like this before. We'll be okay, right? That's why you come to Ron's Basement. We hang out, we have camaraderie, and we have support for each other when we need it. I want you to come back. Please consider subscribing to the channel. And if you like what you hear here, go watch a live stream. I'll see you soon. Hey everybody, it's Ron from Ron's Basement, live on the log flume with Lily. Lily, say hi.